going to be very, very honest with you. Most people think that they can buy a house, but in reality, they really, really can't. And it's not because they don't have a lot of money. It's because they're not factoring what it actually takes to buy a house, the cost that is. And nobody really talks about it. So let's talk about it. Hey, real estate besties. My name is Gina Montesere. I'm a realtor in the South Florida area, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so a lot of people think that they could buy a house. In reality, they're not thinking about what it really takes, okay? So, for instance, for a $400,000 house in this area, I live in the South Florida area, right? Typically, it takes 3 to 5% down for your down payment, right? But that's not all. You have to factor in closing costs and other things prior to you get to closing. Closing costs is typically 2 to 5% additional. And then you have your inspection cost money, and then your appraisal costs money, right? And that is about $1,000 before you even own the home. Okay, so you're thinking that you need about $12,000 to $15,000 actually to close on this house, when really you need about 15 to 25,000, up to maybe 40,000, just depending on the house that you're getting for something that's $400,000 a house, right? So these are the nuances that people really don't explain, and that's why when you meet with someone, a realtor that's a professional, buyer's consultations is very important to sit down so they can break down the actual cost that it takes for you to get the house that you want. Another thing they don't really talk about is your payments. Payments is a big thing, okay? You have to factor in your taxes, which is unpredictable depending on the property that you're in. And it's something that we cannot control. The taxes is the taxes, whatever the area is. Homeowners insurance, which you can control. You could pick the right one depending on what the property needs. So if it has like hurricane impact windows, for instance, that in our area, impact windows, and has a good roof or everything like that, or electrical is intact, you typically could get the best insurance, and that's factor in for the whole year if you're taking out a loan. But if the house is, how we like to call it, run down, that means raggedy. That's what it is. If the house is run down and maybe it's not in the best condition, you're not saying that sometimes you cannot get insurance for it, but if you do, it's going to be high until you get those things fixed. And when you do get those things fixed, like add hurricane pack windows and maybe you add a brand new roof or whatever, the home insurance company will go back out there after closing, re-inspect, and then credit you the money that you need, right? So those are the things that factor in your monthly payment. So that 400 and interest rates. We're not even thinking about interest rates at the moment, okay? So right now, as we're speaking, the interest rates are between 6 to 7%, right? So you need to factor all of that in. So a $400,000 house may cost you in this day and age $3,500 a month. And is that conducive to your lifestyle? Are you able to make your payments? Are you able to comfortably travel, afford groceries, like things like that? Can you really afford the house? That's the question that you need to be asking yourself. I literally just had a situation where I have a buyer that we put a deal under contract for $400,000, but the lender will only finance $367,000 to be exact, okay? And there's a few factors like debt to income ratio. And what really took it over was the taxes on that particular property, because just down the road, it was a house that is the same price, same layout, same everything, but the taxes were less, right? But wanty, get now, wanty. He didn't want that one. But anyways, I digress. I digress. The whole point is that gap, 367 to 400,000, who you think is going to cover that? It's the buyer, right? So things like that, and he was prepared, but things like that, people really don't factor in because they're thinking, okay, well, a $400,000 house, I got a pre-approval for $400,000, but not every property is the same. Okay. And listen, Linda, I'm not doing this to scare you. I'm doing this to prepare you. All right. And if you're sitting down with somebody like me, I'm breaking it down. I'm breaking the numbers down. And if I don't know something, I'm going to reach out to someone that actually do, and they can advise you better to what that monthly payment looks like for you, that $400,000 house, that $500,000 house, that's $1 million house look like for you payment wise. And that way, when you move in, you're stress free. You're telling all your friends about me. And yeah. Now, if you're looking to make the South Florida move, contact me today.